Hello, and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Ultra Moon Typelocke. Today we have a relatively short but fairly eventful episode. Starting where we left off last episode, we now have the first Pokemon within our type restriction, a Noibat, which, through a poll in chat, was named Noiboi. Now, Noiboi is only a level 9, so he is desperately in need of some training to catch up to where I would like him to be, so that we can comfortably move forward into Route 3, where a number of fights await us, and I will then have direct access to 3 more Pokemon. For those unfamiliar with the Typelocke concept, the rules are posted in the description below, so if you need to, go ahead and pause and check that out real quick. Alright, now that you're back, we can get right into this mess of a day I had. I decided to start off easy, wandering the grass of Route 1 in the trainer school to ensure Noiboi was much more likely to survive, before moving on to the Pokemon on Route 3, who all sit in the range of levels 9 to 12. My goal was to get my only current Pokemon up to level 11 or 12 before proceeding into Route 3, especially considering Route 3 has Cutiefly with Fairy Wind, an unbelievably terrifying concept for me this early into the game. After several encounters and rapidly diminishing returns, I ditch Route 1 at a measly level 11 and book it for Route 3. I did my best to avoid any encounters and trainers on Route 2, only being stopped once by an Ekans that we swiftly defeat. Once on Route 3, I fail to evade a few flying Pokemon as I make my way around to the trainers here. We start off further in with Rising Star Tatiana and her Cottony, then backtrack to Rising Star Ian. With no one remaining in between us and the Pokemon Center, we are safe to continue training up Noiboi. The grass here presents a 30% chance each of encountering Mankey, Spearow, or Cutiefly, and a 10% chance of encountering a Hawlucha. Doing some likely inaccurate math, I figure a sum total 70% chance I fight something I'm super effective against. Having spoken the odds, however, I naturally encounter a Spearow immediately. No big deal, we take it down and move straight onto a Cutiefly, who immediately opens up with Fairy Wind, threatening to end our run. After numerous potions and many failed attempts at fleeing, I finally scrape through the fight and book it to the Pokemon Center to heal up before jumping back in. Cutiefly quickly becomes a feared adversary over the next few hours of intensive training, with every single one refusing to let me flee and pummeling Noiboi with a Fairy Wind and Stun Spore combo. As if to add insult to injury, each Cutiefly demonstrates a supernatural ability to perfectly summon aid every time. It was some kind of twisted reverse SOS chaining, with Cutiefly only really calling in backup so it could more effectively kick my ass. Each and every time though, Noiboi pulls through, and after many Pokemon Center visits and a few potion restocks, we finally reach level 15 and start gaining the upper hand. I don't stop the level grind here, however, as just around the corner we have a How battle, and I'm expecting him to absolutely wreck my day in a brutal 3v1. Since our last encounter with the rival, he has evolved his Pichu and caught a Noibat of his own. Now, with a level 13 Rowlet, a level 11 Noibat, and a level 12 Pikachu in that order, How presents a dangerous challenge, and I decide it's best to shoot for level 17 and stock up on some X capsules. After many more close calls, I decide it's time to go face our rival, nearly 2.5 hours into stream. And mind you, I generally only go for 3 hours. 2.5 hours of my night were spent running back and forth in the same patch of grass, repeatedly panicking. Once I reach my goal level, I proceed to the marked point on the map, expecting to face How, only to realize I'd forgotten entirely about needing to deal with Lily's Cosmog first. I felt a little foolish at first, but I was still forgetting parts of this endeavor to come. I haul ass through the flowers, electing to just flee from any encounters between me and Cosmog, as I was now fearing being too over-leveled and potentially killing the 2 Pokemon I would be catching in the cave ahead. Once I reached Nebby, however, I was quickly shown how wise my overleveling really was by the Aether Foundation's very own Soliera. kind of like their theme. Their battle theme is pretty good, actually. Harshly lower defense followed by wing attack, I think. Not. Oh. I'm one step ahead of you. I harshly lowered, you regular lowered. I still got a net bonus on it. That was probably not in frame. I flipped it off. I have one special move. It's my weakest move. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I have to fight both of them, too. Okay, no. Only her. Super potion. Use. And then I'm gonna watch carefully how much damage it's actually doing with, Headbutt. I'm at 45, full health. 27. It's doing less than 20. We can get out of this. Because that means anytime I potion up, I'm getting a net bonus. So as long as it avoids criticals, and only lowers my physical attack, we'll be fine. This is gonna be a hell of a battle, though. Probably stressful as all get out. All it'll take is one critical hit, and we're down. And I'm looking at the guide for, or not guide, I'm looking at the Cerebi page for this region, or for this area. It shows both of them. I was like, please don't tell me I actually have to fight both of these fools. And in very, very small letters on the bottom of each of their boxes, it tells you Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I only have to fight this crazy lady. Okay. Come on, Soliera. Just back off, man. Don't flinch. Don't flinch. Come on, man. Time for like 8 consecutive potions or more. Am I still getting a net positive at all? Yeah, just slowly. I just have to get to a point where it hits me with Headbutt and I'm left with over 20 health. It did 17 that time. critical. Sand attack. I hate you, but sand attack is brilliant to use right now. Why are you doing that? Let's go! Oh, I was stressing on this one, dude. Oh, it had me scared. With that panic out of the way, I rejoice in now being able to catch 2 more Pokemon to even out my team's numbers before facing Hao, only to be swept all the way out to Route 3 by the cutscene, and straight into the dreaded fight. I'm not ready for you! I don't want to! Oh my god. Okay, so we open with X defense. He opened with Rowlet. In that case, we use like 3 of the X's. Rowlet has higher attack than special attack, so we start with the X defense. We're going to use the X defense. And then we will follow with X attack. Nothing. X special defense. These are going to be our best friend to this game. What? I'm loving this. He did nothing to me. Granted, I'm ridiculously over-leveled for this fight. And then finally, I used the last X special, or X defense. And then hopefully I just barrel through all of his Pokemon. I might need to just save up and buy a crap ton of these things, dude. Rowlet's down in a single hit. Sends out Noiboi. Noiboi has crap defense. We use physical attack. That'll be problematic. Or my Noiboi just won't care about being confused. And bite on Pikachu. Don't hit yourself. Trying to bring me back to normal range. Okay, so I really over-prepared for that fight. We're gonna have to try and figure out the balance on this. Those X capsules are fantastic. Now, I'd say more so than being over-leveled, those X capsules just carried this shit. I one-shot his Rowlet. it probably should have survived the single hit, even for me being... With how thoroughly stomped by my excessive preparation, I make my way all the way back into the cave. First up on the docket, Smoochum. At a 30% spawn rate, it's no surprise our first ice type and second addition to the team is the first encounter we get in this dingy cave. Chat decides her name is to be Ivanka. Welcome, Ivanka. You'll be a fine member of this team. It only takes a few more encounters before our next valid catch is found. Delibird. Delibird's name, unlike the two before him, was not decided by poll. This time around, chose the name by an executive decision. A chatter had recommended Kalikimaka, a name I found too good to pass up, being the Hawaiian word for Christmas and all. It was going to take a little while before we could reach that step, however, as Delibird kept breaking out. We do catch Delibird eventually, thankfully. Welcome, Kalikimaka. Glad to have you. At this point, I press forward on Route 3 to a small patch of grass just over the bridge, the only spot on the entire island where Bagon spawns. We, unfortunately, were hitting the 3.5 hour mark, and I was well over time now. With a 1% spawn rate, I decided to call it here. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I stream Pokemon every Wednesday at 5 PM until 8 PM, so be sure not to miss it. And until next time, goodbye.